Now, you've worked for big named companies here in Silicon Valley as a director of marketing and also as a VP of marketing from Hewlett Packard, ServiceNow to Druva and GitHub. How did you work your way up the ladder?
Ooh, that's a great question. I've definitely seen people who have been gifted the gift of a executive position without actually kind of working their way through the process.
Mhm.
And you see through those people, right? Because you understand that they don't get it. They don't understand what it takes to get things done. And so my philosophy has always been to be a broad marketer, to have every tool set in the bench on my bench, right? So I didn't want to just be an expert at one thing. I wanted to understand all the things because, again, I feel there's empathy. If you can understand what product marketing is going through, you can be a better demand gen person and vice versa. So my philosophy has always been to understand all the things,
Right.
to make me a better leader as I moved up into the stack. And I think it's worked. I mean, it helps me understand how to run the whole business, not just part of the business when I'm in charge of the marketing groups.
That's awesome. Did you ever feel disadvantaged in your investment as a woman?
Um, so that's a good question. So I have a funny story. The only time I really have ever felt disadvantaged, and this is early in my career, this is probably almost 20 years ago, when I had my first child. So I went out on maternity leave, and I remember coming back, and the VP of my organization, and again, I was a manager at that time, pretty entry level role, and I had come back from maternity leave, and before I left for maternity leave, I had trained a guy who didn't have a master's degree in business like I have. He had
Hmm.
a law degree, but was looking for a job in marketing. Why, I don't know. So I had trained him to do my job essentially while I was on maternity leave for 6 weeks. And when I came back, my VP had said, I thought about it. I have a great idea. Why don't we go ahead and make him your manager and you can work
Wow.
for him? Right. And, I stood there and I said, well, that makes no sense to me because last time I checked, I have a master's degree in business and we're standing in a business, not a law firm. So I understand how to do this
Wow.
job. I trained him how to do this job. So why would he be my manager and I wouldn't be his manager?
Right.
And I fought that fight for a good solid whatever couple weeks, and he finally decided that he still wanted to go that direction. And so I decided I'm not going to stand for this, and I left.
Mm.
So I was able to find a role in another part of the organization that valued what I brought to the table because I had shown, I was good at the job that I did, and they took me into another organization so I didn't have to be part of that VP or any of his antics. So that was a
Right.
really horrible experience.
That's a yeah. That's I would have left. I think you did the right thing.
Yeah,
I It does put women in a difficult position too, right? That want to have kids
yeah. Well,
because when they go on maternity leave, I mean, that's a big gap in your resume, right?
yeah. Well, it is, and the thing when I asked him, I don't understand why you're doing this. This makes no sense to me. Like like logically makes no sense. And his
Right.
response to me was, "Well, you just had a baby. You're going to probably want to spend time with the baby." And I thought,
Oh, that was the assumption.
yeah, I'm like, I'm working 40 hours a week, if not more. Like, I don't understand. I didn't say I want to stay home. I'm like, what are you talking about? So that was his
Mm.
assumption that I was going to want to go be a mom instead.
Which I'm sure a lot of men make that assumption.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I get it because I'm a man and I understand how men think. So,
Yeah.
yes.
So it was just, it was frustrating because again, yes, I had a baby, but I also had gotten a master's degree. So like, okay, well then why did I go do that if I wasn't going to, continue to be a
Right.
professional in my field?
Right. I mean, I would have just plugged you in right from where you left off.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that yeah, that can be pretty frustrating.
Yeah. Did you have any other examples or was that just the only one?
Oh, I'm sure there's others, but that's the one that comes to mind that I think has stuck with me the most. That was the most like, I can't believe that. Like, I should have
Right.
even thought harder, right? I probably should have gone to HR and had a conversation with them about how I felt, but I didn't. I
Totally.
fought the battle myself, and then I just left when it didn't go my way.
And you're saying the right thing to do, if you had to do it all over again, would go to HR about it?
I probably would have gone to HR about it, and maybe even my VP's boss to let him know, like, I
Right.
don't understand why this is and why these decisions are being made. I need to understand this. So,
Mm,
maybe I would have fought a little harder, but
totally. And I'm sure a lot of women can relate to this example. That, and thank you for sharing,
sure.
because that does happen in the workplace, and it's not fair. It's not fair, and that's not right. That's why I was shocked when you said that. I was like, wow, but it does happen.
It
Um,
does happen.
yes, for a lot of reasons why it happens. Now, for all the experiences with all these companies that you work for, which experience helped grow you the most professionally, and why?
So I think the one that's grown me the most is actually really, really early in my career. I had worked for a company that was it was an Israeli company,
Mhm.
and again, one of my first like kind of real jobs. And I just remember like it. I think the thing that made it so impactful to me was you're doing everything right, like because you're so new and you're so junior. They're giving you every aspect, like, hey, build a database and go do this, and so you're just getting so
Mm,
much experience in like all the different aspects of it, and
right,
then you're able to also see like, oh, that's what that person does, and oh, I like what that person's doing, I'd like to do that someday, right? So like the world is your oyster when you first start working, right? Like
right,
everything is possible, and you have no place to go but up, right? So I think that was the most impactful because there was just so much learning opportunity and so much growth and so much excitement about like
mm,
where your career is going to go when you're early on. So for all those young people listening to your session, savor those years because they're good years.
right.